Welcome everybody to the Tea with Ms McGill Show, fueled by Blue Line Brews. From the beautiful Blue Line Brews studios, as you can see here at Goat Sports, I am Puka. This is Reed Larson. Thank you for joining us. So yes, we're coming off of National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day just a couple days ago on Sunday. 10% of profits from Blue Line Brews, as always, goes back to families of those with a fallen or injured officer. If you want to support our local law enforcement, simply go type in bluelinebrews.com, go down in the show notes, bluelinebrews.com. K-Cups are now in, so go check that out. You can also check out their Facebook page. Give them a like there. They have some pictures on there of the K-Cups. K-Cups are in, bluelinebrews.com to order at checkout. Very simple. Save 15 is the current promo code. Promo code Save 15 saves you 15%. It's just that simple. Thanks to everybody and everything you guys are doing over there at Blue Line Brews, and watch in stores for this label on the Iron Range, now in the Twin Ports, and even a little bit of northern Wisconsin. You can find this in some stores. So be watching for this label right here. All right. Like I said, I am Puka. This is Reed Larson, excuse me. How you doing, buddy? How was the week?
Oh, just living the dream, the hockey dream. Wrapped up another My Nine Sports last night, so we got a chance to watch a little hockey last night. We had another one last week after the show. We had a show last Wednesday. We had a game that we did My Nine Sports Duluth East Grand Rapids, so we'll touch base on those here just in the last couple of minutes. But we've been busy. The coaching, the My Nine Sports, doing a little radio stuff off and on, and we just keep grinding away. And of course, fun stuff when we get back here to do our tea with Ms McGill.
Yeah, awesome. How's the Rapid Squad as far as like sickness? You guys doing okay? I know, like I said, in the holiday tournament, that bug kind of went through Hibbing.
Yeah, it seems like there's one every so often. So okay. We haven't been hit like other teams have been hit. We haven't been hit where we have 4 or 5 guys out at a time. It seems like, there might be somebody out for a day. It's kind of got us early on over the holidays, but since then it's been here and there. Yeah. So
okay. All right. So last week, one of the games that we previewed was in Grand Rapids, Duluth East versus the Thunderhawks in a big AA matchup for Section 7 AA. Rapids pulls it off 6-2. What were your thoughts? And that's when you were behind the microphone.
Yeah, it was a little bit, the very beginning of the game, it was kind of slower. Duluth East is always really good with their structure, especially through the neutral zone. And that was a culture that was developed by Mike Randolph and obviously kept with newly named head coach Steve Patosha. They do a really good job with their structure in the center of the ice. And they needed to do that and continue that against Grand Rapids, because Rapids has got so much speed coming through the neutral zone. Their zone rush, their zone entry coming in 3-on-2, 4-on-2. They jump into the play. Yeah. They're quick when they transition. They come into the zone. So the teams that play against them, when they do have a good structure with neutral zone forecheck, whatever it might be, that kind of slowed them down at the beginning. They didn't stick to it. It was tough. I mean, that's tough to do when you got a team that's so fast and all you have to do is sit back and clog up lanes and clog up the neutral zone. It's tough to do that when you're a high school kid. If you're in juniors and you're in college and that's what the role is, not what the coach is telling you to do because you got a scholarship, or Division III, you're trying to win a national championship, guys understand it. These are kids that are trying to think about their futures and they want to play offensive hockey too. So it's tough. But yeah, they stuck to that structure for a little bit. And then the speed kicked in. Once Rapids popped a couple in, it looked like it was going to be a long night. East did get a couple of nice goals in the game. They one area of concern that we had as a staff is we weren't executing all responsibilities on the faceoff. They scored both their goals right off the faceoff. So it was either guys aren't ready or prepared. Their responsibilities, somebody's losing a guy here or there and they get a free shot to the net and they scored on 2 of them. So that's something that needed to be fixed. And it did moving into the next game. So it was a final of 6-2. I think Xander Zimski between the pipes for Duluth East was really good early on in the game. He got peppered with shots late in the game. Then, the floodgates kind of opened up there when that top line for Rapids started pumping pucks by him. So It's going to happen. Like I said, that speed is there. East has been, they've been grinding it out. It's been a tough year for them up to this point, but like I said, believe me when I tell you this, that's the school that has a lot of pride, and Steve Patosha has been there before with that organization, not as a head coach, but through youth hockey and as an assistant for Mike Randolph years ago. So there's pride there for him, and he's going to keep working.
Yeah, Coach Patosha did mention in the pre-game interview, I can't remember if he said the top 4 or top 6, but he said, we're coming up here to Rapids. Those 4 or 6 defensemen, I can't remember exactly which number he used, are, as good as any core you're going to see in the state. And then speaking of pumping goals, Gus Drennan, I believe, according to the radio broadcast, I think he pumped his first goal. So congratulations, Gus. That was cool to see.
Yeah, it's fun to see the 9th grader pump in his first one. And, we had another rookie, so to speak, and if you're in January, you're not considered rookie anymore, but a first-year sophomore, another one scored his first goal last night over in Superior's Bauer Murphy. So it's kind of cool to see these guys scoring their first goals with Thunderhawk jerseys on.
Yeah, awesome. All right, the rink. Anything else?
Just to move into to last night, we had another My9 Sports last night over at Westman Arena in Superior, Wisconsin. My old stomping grounds. That was my home rink when I played for UWS, University of Wisconsin Superior. And that was a 7-0 W for the Thunderhawks. Not a whole lot else to say in that scenario. Superior struggled in that game. Rapids' speed was way too much for him. Their goalie stood on his head for a little while, but it just wasn't enough. Again, that top line for Grand Rapids is so fast and so skilled. Garrett Drotz had 4 goals in that game. Joey Del Greco had 2, just to name a few highlights in that game. And it was nice to see that, like you said, there were a couple of guys that were out, weren't feeling good for Grand Rapids, and some 4th line guys got an opportunity to play up on that 3rd line. So guys are getting some experience there. The depth of Grand Rapids came howling into that game last night. So 7-0 over Superior. Rapids will head to Denfeld tomorrow.
Yeah, so that LSC title is becoming more and more of a reality. Is Hermantown in the LSC?
Yeah, they are. And right now, if we're looking at the Lake Superior Conference standings, Rapids sits at the top of it. Hermantown sits right behind them. And I think right now, Hermantown hasn't lost a Lake Superior Conference game yet, neither has Grand Rapids. But they haven't played as many games as Grand Rapids either in the conference.
Sure. So it's right there. All right. The Rink Sports Bar and Grill over in Eveleth, just down from the Hockey Hall of Fame. Now that you went out and listened to Reed and I and got your gift certificates, and you got the deal in the gift certificates during the holidays, we want to let you know they're now serving breakfast at the rink. So you can head over there now in the early hours, get your breakfast. Of course, you can order online, full bar, full menu, still have the Friday fish fry, but just put that mental note in after church on Sunday. You can now head to the rink for breakfast. 248-8582 is the number. Like I said, you can order online, the ringsportsbarandgrill.com. All right, the game I previewed last week on Thursday was the Greenway Hibbing matchup at the Memorial Building in Hibbing. Ended up being kind of a lopsided affair. I don't know. I mean, Greenway's game on Tuesday was canceled. So they were supposed to play Silver Bay. So I don't know if someone was sick or if, they had the bug running through. If you know the answers to that, please comment. We'd like to know that. But anyway, 41-19, what shots ended up being in Hibbing's favor. Greenway jumps to a 1-0 lead. Final score ends up being 6-2. Greenway got a late one, about 4 minutes to go on a 5-on-3. Bit surprised. I think we were both expecting a real tight game there. Thoughts on, kind of this lopsided win for Hibbing?
Yeah, I think, first of all, you got to give credit to Hibbing to going in the direction that they're going in. I don't want to say, well, that was a fluke or Greenway was hurt or injured. There might be a few things that Greenway's got going internally with their team at the moment, but you got to give some credit to where it's due with Hibbing. And Coach Rewards has those guys going. They're prepared, and if they keep climbing the way they're climbing, they're preparing themselves to be playing playoff hockey here in the next few weeks. That is a side note to that, is I know that Greenway has had some significant injuries. There was an injury that happened over break. We don't need to get into names of guys, but they're a significant player, at least, that's been out of the lineup that should be back shortly. I know they struggled with some sickness there as well. At any rate, that's not anybody's excuse for losing. And if You asked Coach Andy Sertich that question. He's not even going to bring that stuff up. He's got too much pride for that Raider jersey to make excuses for him and his players. He still expects to win, even if there's a guy out here or a guy sick there. And he would give credit to Hibbing and the way they played and say, they'll play us tonight. That's what he would say.
Yeah, like so it was just pretty overwhelming. So it knocks Greenway out of both the Let's Play Hockey and the Up North Hockey, both of their polls. So a little bit, well, we're going to talk a little bit about Greenway here a little bit later in the show. If you're liking what you're hearing so far, please subscribe, hit the smash the thumbs up button, smash the like button, also share. We'd really appreciate that. And now we need to hear a word from Minnesota Hockey Camps. Beautiful shirt you got on there.
Yeah, Minnesota Hockey Camps, the camp where the pros train. Breezy Point, Minnesota. Early bird prices should be coming up here real shortly. I'm actually going to be over in Breezy Point on Friday night to catch the Minnesota Loons versus the Wilmer Warhawks. That'll be a spotlight game. The two organizations are owned by the same ownership. So when I bring that up, Minnesota Hockey Camps in conjunction with the Minnesota Loons, ownership is the same. They run their organizations out of the Breezy Point Arena. Summer camps, typically after the second week of June, camps are starting in Breezy Point. They run through just into the beginning of August before fall sports seasons start at the high school level. Typically a guy could sign up for, or a girl could sign up for that camp, and they could go for 4 to 5 to 6 weeks in a row if they wanted to train. This is the type of hockey camp where you go to train to be a player. It is, there's fun things that you do there. You go there, you do some fun stuff. They have some free time there, but this is legit. You go there to train, and you got great coaches that come out. You got coaches that are out there like Mike Muller, who's the head coach of the Minnesota Loons. You got Craig Larson, who coaches. He's one of the owners. He's the director of the camp. He's out there coaching. You've got Chris Stewart right now, who is one of the hockey operations guys for the Philadelphia Flyers, former Minnesota Wild player. He's been in a couple different NHL organizations, and he is current co-owner of that team. And he would tell you too that this is a place where the pros come to train. TJ Oshie's been there. Scott Hartnell's been there. If you're looking for a camp, take a look at mhcminnesotahockeycamps.com.
Yeah. Speaking of sicknesses and talking about pro hockey, I don't know if you saw that. We didn't have this in the show notes, but just thinking off the cuff, I think it was Saturday night, Friday or Saturday, was the Capitals were in town, and I mean Rodin was out and Spurgeon was out and Kiprasov's out and all that, but the Wild ended up pulling off that win. It was pretty remarkable, and this team is legit. I don't know if you caught any of that.
Yeah, at any point in time that you can, as the Minnesota Wild, come out with a win against the Washington Capitals, that's a feather in your cap. And with as many guys as were out that night, that's a big one.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm missing some. Those are just the three that
Huge.
just come right to mind. But yeah, just an amazing victory. So good for them. All right, on to preview time for this coming week. Reed and I actually picked the same game. So we have the 7-5 Northern Lakes Lightning coming up to the Snake Pit. The aforementioned Greenway Raiders were at 4-4. Derek Peterson, Iron Range Goalie Academy, filled me in this morning, said these guys have been on the schedule for half dozen years or so. Some really good battles have ensued over the years. He's kind of expecting nothing less tomorrow night.
Yeah, there's going to be a battle there. Like we said, there's been some bumps in the road here recently for Greenway, but they've already back into their winning ways here. They're ready to take on an opponent that was in the state tournament last year in Northern Lakes Lightning. Northern Lakes has had some ups and downs throughout the course of the year, but they do have a good core of guys who can put the puck in the net. They're well coached. I'm not afraid to say that. He's my older brother, but I'll be honest and say they're well coached. They are. He's done a really good job with the program down with the youth hockey level, getting the right coaches in place. Former Grand Rapids graduate is his Bantam A coach, and Belter is the coach there. So he graduated here from Grand Rapids. He's been doing good things with that program over the course of the last couple of years, and that it is a testament to how much work has gone into that when a team that has never been to the state tournament before, and you should have seen those communities all together, how excited they were when they went to the state tournament. This was the first time that they've been there before. It was like, wow, look what happened. Look what this is like. Let's keep working. There, like I said, there's been a little bit of a roller coaster this year with their season, but anytime you can come back to the Snake Pit, Craig grew up in Grand Rapids and played many, many games over in the Snake Pit. And I know that he talks about the tradition of playing in the rinks over here on the Iron Range and how special that is to play there. When you go there, you respect the game by playing your best game when you go to a rink like the Snake Pit. So they're looking forward to coming here, but they're also looking forward to a very, very tough and gritty Greenway team, another team also that has been in the state tournament in the last few years.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just 2019 second place. And if it wasn't for video review, might have been the champions, but we won't get into all that.
Yeah,
but,
let's not discuss
yeah,
that.
the only game with video review of the year, and Greenway gets caught with it.
Yeah, unbelievable. I didn't want to say this too loud because if Coach Clafton is watching, he might just throw something at the computer.
So yeah, and then Northern Lakes was just in the tournament this past spring. So yes, the 4-4 Greenway Raiders trying to get, of course, above 500 on this big week for them with the Northern Lakes Lightning.
They actually started playing each other back when I was the head coach in Virginia, because Northern Lakes would come over to play Virginia. We had them on the schedule, and they were looking for some other games to play while they're over here. And one year they played us, and they picked up Greenway in the same weekend, and they just had kept them on the schedule. They didn't end up staying on Rock Ridge's schedule or Virginia's schedule, but Greenway really, they kind of liked that competition. Craig liked that competition for Northern Lakes, and they've stayed on there since, I'm guessing, since probably about 2015 or 2016.
Okay. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, Petey said about a half dozen years. He said he's seen some really good games with them at the Snake Pit. All right. Anything else on the preview front? All right. Iron Range Apparel, talked a little bit about them. The only place you're going to find ODR Apparel, which is outdoor rink, our 16-year-old entrepreneur.
He's part of the Rock Ridge team. Is that
part of the Rock Ridge team?
Richter?
Yep. Richter, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. His father, Jesse, owns the store. I'm Jesse. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting your wife's name right now, but they own the store. So in the Thunderbird Mall, hoodies, T-shirts, caps, unique little, I call them trinkets, like trinket apparel, like Minnesota themed apparel, like You Betcha, and different things like coffee mugs that say You Betcha or Ope and stuff like that. All kinds of like gift ideas. It's really a unique gift shop. So if you're looking for something unique for somebody love or birthday, whatever, Iron Range Apparel right there in the Thunderbird Mall. And like I said, for the hockey player in you or your child or your brother or your sister, that ODR line's second to none. So check them out at Iron Range Apparel in the Thunderbird Mall in Virginia, Minnesota. All right, just a few scores to run over the past week. Rock Ridge 2, Minneapolis 3, Proctor 7, Ely 0. Cullen Solomon with 3 points for Proctor in that one, so giddy up, but not as good as the 4 points of Garrett Drotz, you just informed us of last night. So giddy up to you too, Garrett. Warroad blanks Detroit Lakes 3-0. Hermantown over Eden Prairie 5-2. Rosa runs over Blake 6-1. And I just got to mention this, no connection to northern Minnesota, but the poor kids from Edina fell to Benilde 5-2. I feel bad.
Do you feel bad?
I feel bad when Edina loses. It's tough.
Yeah, there's no love loss at all whatsoever.
So Warroad continues to roll second place undefeated, I believe. And I think, does Hermantown undefeated or do they have one loss?
They have one loss.
They have one loss. Okay. So
I think they actually lost to Benilde. I think that's who they lost to.
Okay.
I'll have to look back, but don't quote me on it.
Okay. So it's Hermantown number 1, Warroad number 2. Like I said, looks like Roso's back in their winning ways. The Thunderhawks are back in their winning ways. Andover is back to some winning ways. I see them in number 1 in some of the AA polls now.
Yeah, they are. And right now, the one that matters at the end of the season, as far as section seating is concerned for Section 7 AA, the ranking that actually matters when it comes to the end is the QRF ranking. And right now, Andover is at the top of the section in the QRF, I believe 5 or 6 points ahead of us, Grand Rapids, in the QRF, with lots of games left to play. And just kind of spotlighting that schedule ahead. You talk about some of the spotlights. We'll just talk about some of the schedule ahead. So if we're looking at Northern hockey here right now, it's not over yet. Just because Andover is sitting at the top of it doesn't mean that it can't be switched over. Andover does have a tough schedule, but in the next couple of weeks, Grand Rapids will see Moorhead. They'll see Hill Murray. They'll see Wyzetta.
White
White Bear Lake,
Maple Grove,
Maple Grove,
Hermantown.
Hermantown. So there's opportunities to win big games like that that can get some huge and well-needed points in the QRF to slide into that #1 spot, the QRF.
Yeah, incredible schedule coming up for Grand Rapids. Going to be tough. Stay healthy and you stay out of the penalty box, kids. All right. So, all right. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Please comment, and if you want to get in touch with us privately, obviously you can comment. If you want it privately, just Goatsportsmediallc at gmail.com. You can check with us there. You know, if you dig the show, like I said, please share. If you dig the show, share it out to the hockey faithful.
I do got to correct myself. I'm
Oh.
sorry. I don't mean to
No, go ahead.
interject. Hermantown did have one loss. It wasn't to Benilde. It was to Cretan. So they are 10-1, I believe. And Cretan was the team they lost to back
I
in
saw them
December
at
23rd.
and I saw them #2 in one of the AA polls. And there's so many polls out there. So, because I don't think I've ever seen Cretan in a hockey poll that high.
No, Cretan just won a game last night. I believe I think they just beat St. Thomas Academy last night too.
Yeah.
So that's a big win there. They're sitting at the top of their section as well too, which is a big feather in the hat for Matt Funk, who's the head coach there at Cretan Durham.
Okay. Yeah. Impressive. Just got another order of apparel that'll be shipped in. So if you need apparel, just like I said, comment or message or Goatsportsmediallc at gmail.com. Thank you to our partners as always. Blue Line Brews, the Ring Sparks Bar and Grill, Iron Range Apparel, along with ODR Apparel, Minnesota Hockey Camps, Iron Range Goalie Academy, Derek Peterson. For Reed Larson, I am Puko. Get out there and be your dream. You're tuned to the Tea with Ms. McGill Show.